My name is Sarah, and this is the story of my sister, Emily, and the horror that befell our family one cold autumn night. It started innocently enough. Emily, just 6 years old, had always been a lively, cheerful child. But one evening, she returned from playing in the woods behind our house, her eyes wide and her face pale. "Sarah, I met a new friend," she said, her voice trembling slightly. "His name is Jacob. He wants to play with me." I didn't think much of it at the time. Imaginary friends were common for kids her age. But soon, strange things began to happen. Emily would sit alone in her room, having conversations with someone unseen. She started waking up with scratches on her arms, claiming Jacob had done it. One night, I awoke to a blood-curdling scream. I rushed to Emily's room to find her standing in the center, her eyes wide with terror. She was staring at something I couldn't see. "Emily, what's wrong?" I asked, my heart pounding. "Jacob is here," she whispered, her voice hollow. "He's inside me now." Suddenly, her body convulsed, and her eyes rolled back into her head. I watched in horror as she seemed to struggle against some invisible force. Her small frame twisted unnaturally, and she began to speak in a deep, guttural voice that was not her own. "Sarah," the voice growled, "she belongs to me now." I backed away, fear gripping my heart. "Leave her alone," I screamed. "You're not welcome here." Emily's body collapsed to the floor, and for a moment, everything was silent. Then she looked up at me, her eyes filled with a darkness I had never seen before. "Sarah," she said, her voice now a mixture of her own and the sinister one, "you can't save her. Jacob is too strong." Desperate, I called for my parents. They rushed in, and together we tried to calm Emily, but the malevolent presence inside her only grew stronger. We sought help from doctors, priests, and anyone who would listen, but nothing seemed to work. The once bright and joyful Emily was now a shell of her former self, haunted by the spirit of Jacob. Our house became a place of fear and despair, filled with the echoes of Emily's cries and Jacob's sinister laughter. One night, as I sat by her bed, holding her hand, I made a promise. "Emily, I will find a way to free you," I whispered. She looked at me, a flicker of her old self shining through the darkness. "Please, Sarah," she begged, "don't let him win." I nodded, determined to save my sister from the horror that had taken hold of her. I knew the road ahead would be long and fraught with danger, but I couldn't give up. Emily was my sister, and I would do whatever it took to bring her back from the clutches of the ghost that possessed her. And so, our battle against Jacob began, a fight for Emily's soul that would test the limits of our family's love and strength. But no matter how dark the nights became, I held on to the hope that one day, we would free Emily from the haunting that had torn our lives apart.